Hi everyone, my name is Isaiah Morris, and today I wanted to share a community service experience that really changed me and changed how I think about leadership, service, and civic responsibility. This semester, I decided to step outside my comfort zone and volunteer at a local food distribution event in my community. The issue I wanted to focus on was food insecurity, something that affects me or something that affects more families than we often realize, which affected me. For this experience, I mostly operated in structured environments, classrooms, internships, meetings, school-based environments, spaces where expectations were you do the work, you receive the work, you do the work, and then that's it. So I got very comfortable in that experience. Volunteering at a community food distribution was different. I didn't know anyone there. I didn't have a title. Just showed up and I was ready to help. And honestly, at first, I just felt really uncomfortable. I wasn't sure how useful I would be. I didn't know what to say to these families coming through the line. I didn't know if I would make a difference. I started by organizing food boxes, setting up tables, and helping direct families through the distribution process. As the event went on, I began interacting more with the people we were serving. One moment that really actually stood out to me was speaking with a parent who explained how rising grocery prices were making it hard to consistently provide meals for their children. That conversion shifted my perspective on how I think about other people. And I realized that for the most part, we tend to be a little selfish when it comes to only thinking about ourselves, um, especially when it comes to struggle. I think we tend to instantly go about ourselves instead of worrying about the people that are struggling worse than us. Food insecurity stopped being a statistic for me. It just became personal and became real. This experience connected directly to what we discussed in class about leadership and civic engagement. Leadership isn't about holding a position or having a title. It's about showing up where you're needed and actually being willing to serve. Service isn't charity, it's solidarity. It's recognizing that we're all a part of the same community. And when one group struggles, we just all feel it. And when one group struggles, we should all be jumping to help them. I also started thinking more about justice. Access to food shouldn't be uncertain. Yet for systematic issues like low wages, inflation, and limited sources, it creates a barrier for families. Volunteering didn't solve those systematic issues, but it just allowed me to actively participate in meeting and immediate. The biggest challenge for me was stepping into an unfamiliar space and engaging with people I just didn't know. The comfort zone is structured, prepared, like I said. That's required flexibility, empathy, and presence. What I learned is that growth doesn't happen where you're comfortable. It happens outside the box. And it happens when you put yourself in situations that stretch you. By the end of the day, I just felt more confident in general. Not because I did something extraordinary, but because I showed up, stayed present, I contributed, and I also helped people feel valued. This experience changed how I view the community. I used to think that the community as people I personally knew, like my classmates, teammates, coworkers, just everyday people that I talk to. Now I understand community is something broader. It includes people whose lives intersect with mine, even just briefly. It also strengthened my sense of civic responsibility. Change doesn't only happen through policies or large organizations. It happens when individuals decide to take action. Small acts of service always matter. If there's one thing that I just took away from this experience, is that leadership begins with willingness. The willingness to step outside your comfort zone, the willingness to listen, and most importantly, the willingness to serve. Just encourage everybody in general to find an issue in your community that resonates with you and take action, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. When you get to know the people there and when you really truly dig deep in that experience, it'll genuinely teach you a lesson, teach you a life lesson even. Because that's just where growth happens in general. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you, and everyone just have a good day.